Broadcasting live from sunny South Florida and the best way to start your Saturday. This is KMA Talk Radio. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars. And now your KMA crew. The man with the scoop, William Cooper. Alex the Goat Tavella. And always telling it like it is, Honest Abe Dababneh.
I like to smoke them like the Winston Churchill, like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, smoked up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar.
Good morning to all our loyal listeners, libertarians, and lovers of the leaf. Honest Abe today with a very special edition of KMA Talk Radio. We have a very special breaking news release that we will have in the first hour of our show. But as always, I am here with my KMA crew. The man they call the GOAT in his new home base office, Alex Tavella. And the man always bringing you the industry's news, teaser, and rumor-free, our man, William the Scoop Cooper. And joining us today is our lovely dear friend, as a guest host, the beautiful Miss Kim Keeney. It's not your birthday, but you're here.
Can I just
I'm
say
here.
that I feel like we are solely responsible between the Great Smoke and now KMA. We are solely responsible for keeping Kim in the industry.
Yeah, pretty much.
100%.
We're keeping Kim around.
Listen,
And we
but I will
should.
tell
And
you,
we, yep.
you guys are the only ones that I say yes to anymore.
Oh,
I love you guys. It's fun to come and hang out with you guys. It's not.
That's awesome.
We're
It's a
just
good
getting
time.
together, smoking cigars, and I'm back in the office today because I will be smoking a cigar. I'm going to wait till after our special announcement to light mine up. I have it here, ready.
Me too.
I got mine too.
I'll
play along.
if David Mealey is I see the top of his
I'm
head.
texting him.
Me too.
I think he's seeing my text.
I think he figured it out. But I'm trying to see. Yeah, no one. Guns up in Australia. Look at that.
You got some robes.
No one. You have robe? Oh, there it is. There.
Yeah,
I was waiting. I was waiting for someone. This one.
Coat. It's a robe, coat, same thing. In Florida, a robe might as well be a coat. Feels the same.
The new smoking robes. Okay.
Don't worry, folks. I was a much better model on the.
He was. I think it's the same. I think the reason is it's the same one you were wearing.
I probably is it. Yeah. So no, that bit me. It ain't.
It looks a little
Although
tight.
it doesn't. It's a little tight, but it's not as tight as it would have been a year
Right,
ago.
it wouldn't
Abe,
have
I'll
gotten
tell you
that.
that. Right.
This will drop next week for all our smoking socialites. If you don't know what we're talking about, we have one of the most beautiful and wonderful communities on social media, Smoking Social. Check us out. This is our third edition now of a Smoking Socialite robe, monochrome gold embroidery right on the robe this year. Let me see. Zoom me in, Alex. Yeah, so you can get that. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, that's nice.
Very nice.
So, and
Nice.
these we had like more size offerings. These only come in 3 sizes, and it's more true to size. I think one of the renditions we did, like everything was like really big for what it
Yeah.
said.
That. What size is that?
I'm gonna look at it now. But they come like small, medium, large, extra large, and 2X, 3X, and it really runs more to form.
These run truer to size than last year.
Okay, so this is a small medium that I just had on.
That was a small medium. So
And you can tell it was really tight. It was really tight.
Yeah.
on me.
So when these drop for you at me at 5'6", that small medium was right for me.
Yeah.
I don't even think it was.
And the 3X fit me perfect. The 2X, 3X fit me just right. So socialite robes will drop next week. So for all our socialites out there, be prepared. It's going to be made to order, so there's no rush. We will leave open ordering for a couple of weeks, and you pick your size, and turnaround time should be a lot quicker this year. So once we close the pre-ordering of the robes, we should probably have them turned around and shipped to you in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks tops. So they're not super long. They're pretty standard, Doc.
No, that's what, at 5'6", that small medium was true to size for me. It didn't Lay on the ground.
This guy.
Where's the good doctor been?
I haven't seen him. He must be in love.
He must be fixed. He's either in love or he's fixing a lot of teeth. One or the other.
Yeah, he's probably more likely he's in love.
Yeah, because even when he's fixing a lot of
work.
Around. Yeah, and he's around.
Yeah, he must be. When guys disappear like that, they fell in love.
Good for the doc. The doc's
Doc
always
must have
no, they're not long. They're not long, Doc. You get the small medium. You're about the same height as me.
But that being said, as we get into our lighting up segment, all our KMA crew and fans out there, let us know what you're smoking this morning. We're about to light up soon. Are you able to smoke where you're at, Kim, or are you inside? It looks like you're inside.
I'm inside. Well, I would be outside, but I put Michael to work and he's pressure washing my back patio and my driveway while I'm on the show.
That honey-do list. That Saturday morning honey-do list.
You're working too. You're working too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Just happens to be a little easier this morning, but nonetheless,
Absolutely.
it's work.
That's why I like them. Wait, that's not it. That's what I like about these robes. They actually look like a smoking jacket.
When you had it on, I was like, someone better do like a Playboy bunny photo shoot or something with those because they are so. It's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be cool. Obviously, this past Thursday, the big burn down of the Saka dolls. I don't know if you caught it, Alex, but it was.
I didn't catch it. I was late. I need to go back and. Did anybody clip anything? Did you clip?
Bro, there's clips everywhere.
Oh my goodness!
I'm talking about us. I'm not talking about other people.
No, we didn't clip nothing yet. Yeah. No, let me tell you something. Some of the still shots of the hundreds of Saka heads is priceless. Like, I mean, it is really. If you didn't get a chance, I mean, the worst swag. We talked about it. The worst swag ever made. And you know what he did too? Like, I kept 3. So he made me admit.
He kept some. I guarantee you he did.
And he said, "Don't lie." He said, "Don't lie." He goes, "How many did you keep?" I said, "I got 3." So I kept 3 of these. I don't know how many he kept because I think his granddaughters kept a couple. But like, he's literally made this now the most sought after. Probably wanted swag.
You could sell that for $500.
I guarantee you there's a dozen of them he kept. At least.
You could sell that for $500.
Vince Benetti already messaged me, said, "How much of my soul do you need for one of those 3 that you have?" Yeah, this is gonna be the most sought after. But this is pretty ugly. This is so bad we couldn't.
It was bad. People don't realize this. These are a year old. They were supposed to come out last year, but
November. No, well, yeah, we got them like right before. It was
supposed to be for. Was it for
holidays? Dropped last November.
Yes.
So we got them probably like October.
But we were working. That's what I'm saying. They're old. We were working on them for a while, though.
That's what happened because that was right when we had the problem with the guy we were working with, and the project got dropped halfway in the thing. So we had to source a new company at the last minute, and we rushed it. And this is the shit that we got.
Listen, I love Saka,
but
if I woke up,
fearless doll.
If I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw that, the nightmares I would have for the rest of my evening, I cannot.
Now you just inspired me to get one of these over to Mike to have him lie it in the bed next to you.
Just hide it.
So you can wake up next to him.
We need to get. That's next year's Summer of Saka. It'll be a 6-foot Saka plushie grand finale prize.
There was he had one of those John Deeres, and he scoops up a whole bunch of them and he dumped it into the fire.
Listen, there was one point where that dumpster was up in the air, and all you saw was
Saka's
200 Saka heads sticking out over the edge. And wait, the fire from the ground was reflecting off their faces. Oh, bro, I'm telling you, it was like movie epic shit.
At first, I was like, well, why are they doing this at night? But the night actually added the whole effect to this thing, like really good.
Yeah, for the fire had to. That's why I figured it was so late. That's why I figured they did it so late.
Yeah, it was like a semi-horror story. It honestly was. It really was. And he did burn him, man. He had to get a fire permit. We were gonna it kind of worked out good because the timing landed where we were like the week before Summer of Saka starts. Summer of Saka starts next Friday. But we were gonna do it last year, but they wouldn't give him a permit because of the fall.
Right.
And the area was very dry and had a lot of leaves, so he couldn't get a permit. And then winter started, and no one wants to do it in the middle of fucking winter, so it got pushed. That's the truth. That doll is so bad. It's great. I told him we should have kept a dozen. We could probably do like charity events with it and raise tons of money.
I think he kept
$9,000 for a silicone boob.
Man, you give that thing to Michael Herklotz in front of a crowd of people. You're walking out with a couple grand easily.
Alex. His silicone boobs got $9 grand, $7 grand.
True. true. That is true. Right.
They were just fake boobs.
I can't believe they went earless though. If nothing else, like the earless just like made it even worse.
I mean, they could have even printed.
Just even drew it. Yeah, just
it
not even
printed.
Yeah, I mean, just to top it all.
I love the fucking profile too.
Yeah, it's like what
ball
zombie.
and it looks like a cigarette. It looks like a cigarette he's got, not a
It
cigar.
looks like a cigarette. Wrong color.
Oh my goodness!
How'd you like to
Terrifying.
wake up and see that?
If I can't sleep tonight, I'm blaming you guys right now.
Indy, how come the orders haven't gone out? That's gonna be my fun doll there.
Dude, I told you, the Saka voodoo doll. Stick him with pins every time he does something wrong.
That's what it is.
Halloween.
Saka-ween.
Let's put it this way: someone posted a really cool picture last night, and the text went out at like 12:30 a.m. last night. Let's put it that way. See what happens. Yeah, listen, I've already fumbled once. What's another fucked up doll?
Right.
We give it a shot. Well, anyways, I'm sure we got a lot of people tuning in. We've been posting all week. We had a very, very special announcement from our dear friend, David Mealey of General Cigars. And let's bring him on and see what Dave has to say.
Here he is. You know what? Just because.
Keep him in the wings? What?
No. Just because I like Dave gets to meet your maker.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell.
It's time to meet your maker.
Wow.
There he is.
What's up,
Feels
David?
so special.
You are special. You're special.
I missed that intro because we don't have makers.
We don't have makers
much
quite
anymore.
often.
So it's
whenever I get the chance,
yeah,
I fire.
Absolutely.
Mr. Mealey.
What's happening, everyone?
How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm grinding.
What's the logo on your shirt?
This is just kind of a skull. It's Swag Golf. It's a golf brand that.
No wonder I didn't recognize it.
Yeah, no.
Golf. You and
Are you a golfer?
Yeah.
I am.
I am not.
All right. Like a good golfer?
I'm
a decent golfer?
Golf. Yes, I was in the golf business for a while.
You gonna ask him the question?
All right. So hear me out. Here's the question. If you played the Masters and you started at the furthest point of the green on every hole, could you win? Could you compete?
I'm going to give you the honest golf as like a former PGA member. The average amateur, not a chance in hell.
Really?
Not a chance in hell.
Because I've been there
for a few times.
Very vicious at the Masters, right?
Oh, it's like literally certain pins. So they traditionally will set up a golf course with, six what they call medium, 6 easy, 6 hard pins. Augusta doesn't do it that way. There are literally shelves built into every green for specific pins. And you have call it 8 to 10 foot radius to land the golf ball for a legitimate birdie putt. And if you hit it in the wrong spot, forget about it. I mean, it'll roll back into the water. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's why they always say the Masters doesn't start till, Sunday, the back nine on Sunday. Literally, if you've watched it over especially the last 7, 8, 10 years, just epic, people just falling on their face and collapsing, Spieth hitting 2 balls in the water on 12, just crazy stuff. It's something about that place. And like I said, I've been there. If you haven't been, TV does it no justice. Literally for a golfer who knows golf, you stand on 10T, for example, you have to hook the ball. And for Abe, that means that's like a NASCAR driver going left as hard as he can. You have to hook it. And it's straight downhill from the time you walk by that clubhouse till you get to the back corner. They call it Amen Corner down there, number 12, 11, 12, Rays Creek. TV just doesn't do it justice. There's one par 3, I think it's 6. It's about a place for like 190 to 200 for them. Literally, spectators will sit on the downslope of the hill, and tour players are hitting balls over their head because they can't see them. That's the drastic drop. Even if you don't golf, if you ever get a chance to go, it's a special place. It's pretty it's a pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. And that was an honest answer. See, we got an honest answer from a real golfer. No chance.
There you have it.
I think like an average PGA professional that plays decent or a low single digit might have a shot, but your average golfer, I mean, it's less than 1% of, you know, your typical weekend golfer is a single digit handicap. Like it's.
Let me ask
there's no chance.
Let me ask you this question: the guy who plays in the Masters and comes in last, like the worst guy in the field, if he starts in the green, could he win it?
Probably.
Or will it still be tough for him?
Probably, because here's the thing with the Masters. The guy who finishes last right now is probably an old timer that's been around for a while, and he's in the Masters simply because once you win the Masters, you have a lifetime exemption to the tournament. So you can come back every single year. Now, eventually guys will pull themselves out because they don't want to take a place of an extra spot, if you will. But there are players that continue to tee it up every year that have no chance just because they've earned that right because they've won the green jacket to come back every year. And they want to experience the champions dinner and everything else that goes along with it. So, but yes, that guy probably because he's played it 100 times plus and knows the greens.
Right,
he's going to have
with the field.
Yeah, he's going to have it. Yeah. I mean, if he's putting for one and those guys are teeing off 450 yards away, I'd put my money on that guy.
That makes sense. That makes sense. A guy that's been there before. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that. What are you doing? You FaceTiming people?
I accidentally. My daughter was texting me and I accidentally. What are you going to do? Speaking of which, she went to her first college campus last week. Kind of a fun experience for her.
Where at?
UF. She got UF, and then she's going to Florida State, I think, in June, next, a couple weeks. And
I was the worst parent about that. I saw no need for me to go to these college visits. I went on one, and I'm like, you can go to the other ones on your own. I don't need to see a library or gymnasium. You tell me what it is, and then tell me how much it's going to be.
I don't think it's as much for us other than just sharing the experience. But look, I don't even.
I get that part. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember. Oh, I didn't go. My wife went, but I don't even remember going to one.
Same, Abe.
My parents did. My parents didn't even know where I applied. I swear to God, they didn't know where I applied. They didn't even know where I got accepted. I mean, they did when I got accepted, but like they had nothing to do with the process. I had to figure everything out on my own. Meanwhile, my daughter's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, figure it out. You're going. Let me tell you something. You're going to college. If you can't figure out how to book your own visitation, maybe you should think about that. And whether you
right.
You know,
It's that I'm helpless. Maybe Palm Beach community is more your style if you can't even figure out.
Yeah, exactly. That was my feeling. Yeah, and I don't need to see a gym. I don't need to see a cafeteria. I'm just. There's no value in this. It's your decision. It's not mine. You can go see it. Now, when I get the experience part. And we did go on one, but yeah, the others I just was like, I don't need to go on this.
So my daughter's got the pre-played Florida plan, so she can go to any university here in the Florida, and it's already paid for. Now, if she chooses to go somewhere else, that's still her money, but she's going to have to figure out how to.
It's not as much, right?
It won't cover.
You get back everything minus the interest, right? So you just got back what you put in. You're not getting.
No, you get everything back plus interest. But
do you get interest too?
Yeah, they definitely pay you interest, but it doesn't equate to.
But it doesn't equate to what it pays to cover the college. Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you choose to go out of state, you get the money back, but that money is not going to cover.
Interest rate. It's a fair interest rate, but it doesn't.
That money's not going to cover the same.
It won't cover 4 years of college anywhere.
Right.
You know, so one of the schools she was looking at is University of Miami, which I really don't want her to go to. But she gets accepted. Listen, I did my duty as a parent. I provided you a 4-year college education at some great colleges. I mean, UF is almost like Ivy League these days. Kids are trying to get in from all over the country, and it's very hard to get in.
Yeah.
If one of those ain't good enough for you, and you want to go somewhere else, you got to figure out how to fund it.
That's fair.
It's insanely hard right now. We took the tour of Florida State last year for my son, and they're not accepting anybody with anything less than a 4.8. Like, if you don't have a 4.8, don't even bother to apply. It's crazy how tough it is right now out there.
Very hard to get in, but she was very excited to find out that they're trying to build up their orchestra, which they don't really have a good program there. It was really funny. She went to the School of Music. She was like, it was like a closet, Dad. They didn't even have an auditorium there. Like, with, you know, her high school campus.
She goes to a
She's
school
100 times right.
Yeah.
So they're like offering scholarships to kids, to anybody who's majoring in music. So she'll probably get a good shot of getting in under music. And then if she chooses to change her major after that, she changes her major. But
if she gets a full scholarship, you taking your money back?
I don't think she'll stay as a music major. So even if she got a scholarship as a music major, it won't be for long, I don't think.
Yeah. Gotcha. So come on, I want to smoke. We got our friend here. We got exciting stuff. We got cool shit.
All right, put him on the spotlight. Put him on the big screen. Dave, what's the breaking news you have for all our fans here at KMA?
All right. So for all you Amazon Basin fans, and we know there's a lot of you out there,
right?
Because
what a phenomenon.
Bananas every time we launch it. We are breaking news here today and officially announcing a brand new Amazon Basin project. We're calling this Amazon Basin Daggers. And basically what this is, and you guys have some images you can share, is a Amazon Basin small. So a small 4x38 Picanha type Amazon Basin dagger using the Bragantia tobacco. This is the first time people are seeing this product. Coop will have the scoop a little bit later today as kind of an exclusive. This product will launch Monday, and we thought it would be a great opportunity to kind of chat. Amazon Basin, we know obviously is like I said, is a phenomenon. We get a ton of support. We brought this product to Great Smoke the last few years. We know there's a ton of Basin fans out there with in the socialite group and smoke in crew. So yeah, I mean, these are the only ones literally that are out there right now. We made some things happen. We didn't even get the samples out to the team until yesterday. So very, very cool project. We're very excited about. Will be a limited edition type launch. Like I said, it'll come in a 5-pack of the Picanha wrapped in some butcher paper. But this is basically, we're walking around the factory a little over a year ago, and the Bragantia tobacco is very unique. And the yield is crazy. What we get from year to year. If you look at it 2 years ago, let's call it the 24 launch, we roughly only had about 2,000 boxes of Basin to go around completely, just because of how much Bragantia tobacco was. The plants yielded that year. Then we go into this year and we got up to about 3,100, 3,200 boxes, which was the largest launch we ever had. But going through there and making the cigar and doing the trimming and everything, we're like, what are we going to do with this tobacco? It's just too good to just kind of throw away or put in a Cuban sandwich type cigar somewhere. And how can we use this filler, which is so unique? Coop, I know this is probably your third or fourth one. Yeah, you shared some messages, but so we were like, let's make a small with this. We have enough tobacco here to do this, because we wanted to make enough, to kind of go around and give everybody the that experience, that Bragantia's tobacco and that Basin experience, halfway through the year, not have to wait till January, so to speak. There are a few retailers that hold back a few boxes, and I may or may not hold back a few boxes for some certain things, but we really don't. It really is based on how much of that tobacco we get. And for people that don't know, it's a very unique process. The plants are not as close together. They're 2-3 feet apart. They don't yield as much. We really do have to transport this stuff on canoes up the Amazon, Basin River. It's an indigenous tribe that produces this tobacco. Ernest, which we call our Indiana Jones of tobacco. Coop, I'm sure you've probably met Ernest a time or two at the factory and stuff like that. He found this tobacco, man, was it 2014, 2016, somewhere in there, the first original one come out. And we've had different things since then, right? Obviously, we've had, the Extra Forte, which we've aged a little bit longer. Fuma de Corda, which was is where it's actually cured on the big ropes and stuff like that. So we've had some renditions over the years. The Oriana, which is the Brazilian Cuba wrapper, Cubra wrapper, which again, a little teaser, you will be able to get that cigar a little later this year in our holiday pack. we'll release the little teaser. Nobody knows about this yet other than my sales team, but we'll release the Amazon, what we call Outpost, which is a sampler later on in the year that has Brazilian, a couple different things, and that will actually have a CAO Amazon Basin Oriana in there later on this year. So again, doing some unique things here. Like I talked about, there's a huge following for Basin. People
Wait a
will
minute.
literally
Listen. Hold up. I got to stop you. It's past a huge following.
It's a cult.
You know that your cigar has reached iconic status when the social media cigar scammers are using your cigar as the cigar base. I mean, it's the right. Yeah. When I see I get a Facebook friend request, and the picture is an Amazon Basin. I immediately know. I know already. I mean, that's when you know your cigar has reached iconic status. When the scammers are using it for bait.
But if you try to join Smoking Social and your profile picture avatar is a CAO Amazon Basin,
or
your
the
first flag we don't let you in.
A red flag. That's how iconic the cigar has got.
There are people who are counterfeiting it or pawning it or trying to sell it. And that's
or just
why it's on
using the pictures to try and scam somebody out of their money.
Yeah.
But they know that's how the craze is with this cigar. So
what's the saying about imitation, flattery, blah blah blah, whatever? I mean, there's been some things out there. We've seen some projects.
Bootlegging is the best form of flattery.
Yeah,
something like that.
SOPA, which means rope. We'll leave it at that. Like there's certain things out there that definitely have been tried to knock off. But this is there's, like you said, it is a cult following. So again, Amazon Basin Smalls, we're calling them daggers. Give you that little taste of the Basin halfway through the year. So these will start shipping Monday.
Not only does this have a taste of the Basin, but I've been smoking it for a little bit so far, but Coop smoked more of them. He would know. I'm not getting the bits and pieces like of a mixed fill. Like it's smoking like a long fill cigar.
It's long filler, isn't it? Is it long filler?
Yes. Yeah. It is. So it's
okay.
It's just
that's what he said. They didn't want to use it for Cuban sandwich type. It was too good to waste.
Yeah, it was too good to waste. So we were
heard him say Cuban sandwich, and that's what made me.
I apologize. So how can we not waste that and put that into some type of format that highlights how good that tobacco is?
That's a good reason why I haven't been getting bits and pieces. It's a long fill cigar.
Yeah.
But
Dave, I was commenting to Dave that I felt I tasted the Braganza really much more prominently in this because
it's a smaller Vitola.
Yeah, it's a smaller Vitola.
I'm getting the same thing.
Yeah, and it was so you get it on the regular Amazon basis, but it's going to be more ample. And I actually went back and smoked an Amazon basis that I had to kind of test it, and I'm definitely prominent on this.
Yeah, you can pick it up for sure. I think we go around and around, and people. I mean, Coop. I personally think Ben Lee's probably one of the best at actually picking up some flavor profiles. I really trust in what that guy says. Yep. But I think some of it is bullshit half the time. But this really gives you that uniqueness of what that tobacco is all about. And I think, like I said, it's a lot of the times when you've been in the factories, when we roll them, the little fumas or whatever it is, it's all about trying to understand what that tobacco is about, what it brings to the table, and how you can melt it or mix it into the recipe, so to speak, to come up with something. So pretty stoked about this project. So like I said, ready to rock with this starting next week. The team will be out selling it.
It'll be available at smokein.com Monday, noon Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to sell out. I'm telling everybody now. It's going to sell out. I predict it'll sell out very, very quickly. Dave was nice enough to send us an ample amount of packs, but I assure you it won't be enough. But yeah, Monday noon Eastern Standard Time. It'll be available at smokein.com. You'll be amongst the first in the country to grab them.
Yeah, this is I like this, man. This is I
size
started too. Well, normally it's too small for me, but I've started gravitating towards those smaller size. And listen, not everybody does them well. This is for me the perfect cigar. Like I live in Florida. You live in Florida, so we don't have that. It's too cold to smoke outside. I need something small and quick. But I feel like we all have that. You ever had that? You have your cigar, and you're just not done, but your cigar's done, and you don't want to light a full one. you need something small. This is something smaller that will give it to you too. You know, it's not just I'm smoking. This is I don't need a full one. This is small, but it's going to give me everything I'm looking for too to finish my night without having to light up another Toro. This is a great size. This is perfect for me for that.
MSRP.
You know, it's late.
MSRP, if I'm reading this correctly, because someone just asked, is $24.99. Is that correct, Dave?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't have it. I don't have it up on my screen.
That's what I have. That's what I have.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, tax
For a
play in different
5-pack?
states, but for
That's
5-pack,
great for
yep.
5. That's great for 5.
$25.
Killer for a 5.
That's for a Basin. That's a great price. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is not going to last.
Yeah.
No, I got a feeling it'll be gone within a week or so.
Week?
Yeah.
I think
I mean, just like all of our stuff.
I'll give you
out to the
a
trade.
50-1 signed bill odds. It won't last a day.
Well, yeah, I understand that. I mean, like our sales team, stretching it out
You
there.
mean I might be gone nationally in a week?
Yeah.
Okay, that's more probable. So, will this be released more often than what? Because right now, Basin's dumped once a year. They bring it out.
It comes out every January. We bring it out, and then last year we also had that same CAO outpost project around Christmas time, or in the fall there for holiday that had just one of the 5 cigars was a Basin, or 4 cigars I think it was. I will tell you that we plan on doing some new things with Basin. Again, it is based on the Braganza tobacco. Don't quote me on this, but I see this as an every other year project only because we need. I mean,
I get it. The tobacco's only.
We have to have enough tobacco to make this worth it.
So you telling me that these daggers here I may not see for another 2 years?
Oh, I assumed that immediately. I thought it'd be the opposite. I assumed that. I mean, yeah, but even still, with the little, there's only so much.
3-4 times a year.
Yeah, but it took us about 2 years worth of the scrap and aged right to have this amount. I mean, I could do it, but I'm going to get like 500 trays, and I'll just piss off another 500
we'll just
retailers.
Be your exclusive dagger dealer.
Yeah, that'll work. I'll make a call. We'll fly down and negotiate.
That'll go over well with everybody.
Yeah. But that being said, I like this time frame. I like them, that June, July time frame for a little Amazon Basin drop, if you will. But it will depend on obviously the tobacco that we have and different things we can do, because it really is what I'd like to. Everybody asks. We talk to marketing every year, and they're like, is this continuing to go? I'm like, this is going to continue to go well beyond all of us. Like, there is a cult following for this, so we want to make as much as we can. But the truth is, we are constrained by how much tobacco we get. We can't just plug something different in there and make 10,000 boxes of it. It would damage the brand. It would damage everything if we didn't continue with the recipe. So,
and the quality control, 100%. Notice no band or twine on the little ones. They are completely naked. And just a heads up, I don't know if your team thought about this or not, but the QR code on the pack.
Yep.
Takes you to the Amazon Basin page. You might want to have someone add daggers to that page.
It goes live Monday.
Ah, nice job.
This is the exclusive.
Yeah,
we're early in the game. Why would he be up before Monday? You're right. Nice job.
You're gonna sell them on Monday at noon. I'll make sure it goes live at 11:59.
Nice job.
Yeah, I've seen it behind the scenes, so yeah, it's ready to go. I think one of the Coop, I think I sent you guys like some of the POS and stuff like that. I think the saying is the legend recut or something like that. We're going with as kind of a new size, if you will. Again, I don't have it in front of me on the phone here. I was having an issue connecting, so I'm on the phone. But yeah, so we got some really cool social media stuff coming around with it. Yeah, they'll be gone Monday afternoon. I got a feeling.
Cool.
They will.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know I've been in the industry like 3 decades, but sometimes I get Swiss cheese brained. Is this the first time? It's the first time I can recall a small scale cigar like this 5-pack being a limited edition.
Good question.
I mean, I maybe you could. They kind of nasty Fritas were kind of.
I got nasty Fritas coming out of my ass.
Yeah, I know. Then that's what it turned into. Now we got
limited
$100
production though, and they're not. They're bigger though. I would say they're still bigger. I can't think of one right now.
This could be the first one in my career.
This could be a limited, like. Well, you don't know when it's going to be back. Kind of, or maybe not for 2 years. If someone else could think of one in the audience, let me know.
Tony, we talked about this already, but it's going to be too expensive.
$25.
Don't waste your time. I was going to torture him a little bit, bro. I was going to torture him a little bit.
Just trying to keep things smooth. It's $25, bro.
Figure less competition in the field come Monday morning.
We like the competition.
I was going to talk him out of it.
Why do I have? Is that
he was getting answered anyway.
Yeah.
Dave, this is the first time you guys have done an Amazon base and not in a Toro, too. I believe this is the first new size.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was more of a one-off, not a.
That was a one-off.
Weren't those Robustos?
No, they were kind of this size. The original DTT EX 128.
The shut the fuck up ones.
Oh no, yeah, shut the fuck ups were like Toros.
Yeah.
Yeah, these I'm talking like,
it was a 5-pack. No, but we're talking little Pequinos.
Yes.
I'm talking like 4 inches is what I would say.
Yeah, small cigars.
Yeah. Because they are smalls, these.
They call them dog walkers up north.
Right.
All right, everybody's out to prove me wrong. Yeah, I guess Chochada was.
No, Chochada's not. That's an event-only cigar. You couldn't buy that cigar. It doesn't count.
True. Alex saves the day. True. Forgot about that. It was event-only.
Old Saint Solamente was like a 5x58. It's a giant Robusto. Anybody else? I got to debunk. Who else?
That one was way off. Yeah.
Boy, when you say something like, "Oh, this is the first time," man, everybody just comes out of the woods.
Everybody's an expert, man. Everybody's an expert.
He caught his mistake.
He did.
Okay, that's fair.
In the meantime, regardless of what came out first, let me tell you, folks, this is absolutely excellent.
I messaged you guys how good. Yeah.
Going to smoke 3 of them by the time the show's over, and which means I'll have 2 left for perpetuity until whenever Dave comes out.
I'm already contemplating fucking snagging some before we put them.
Yeah, you got to put some aside.
I told you guys when I smoked it, I'm like, guys, you got to. This thing is the real deal.
We have a KMA chat. That, we kind of constantly talking. 3 of us, and Coops from, I think that's his like 3rd or 4th one already. He's been posting in the chat. He's been enjoying the hell out of them. I saved mine to open on the air so I could show the full 5-pack.
Can you just grab his 5? Hey, can you grab his 5 or 6? I'll split them with you 3 and 3.
Is there?
Yeah, what's in a tray?
Remember, is there 10? I think there's 10 5-packs in a tray.
Yeah,
right?
10 5-pack. Yes.
That's a nice presentation too. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fairly small. It's
sadly, it's a complete waste of a wood tray. It won't last 5 minutes.
It's going to be empty.
It will last 5 minutes on the fucking counter. It's complete waste of a wood tray. You might as well just put them into to-go bags.
Yeah, but
like the little gift bags you get at parties when you walk out, they just grab by the handle and walk out the door.
But you got to display them some way. You just can't lay them flat.
I know.
Listen, you could have laid them. I could have laid them this backwards. They're gonna know what it is on the show, and they're gonna go. It ain't gonna matter.
It's not gonna matter. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah. No, it was great.
Good stuff.
I smoked it with the team last week in Richmond. I think we were up in the office last week. That's right. I sent those from the office, so we smoked them, and they were. We shared them with a bunch of the team up there. It is very, very good.
There won't be we're not going to sell these by a tray. We're going to sell them by the 5-pack, and they may be limited to 2 or 3 per person. We just want to make sure that as many of our fans and loyal patrons can get a good shot of grabbing some.
Absolutely.
So that's how that works. But yeah, once again, noon Eastern Standard Time. Monday, smokein.com. Don't miss it. They'll go live. Grab them. Have your account open. Have your credit card logged in. Be ready to go.
Ready. Have your credit card information saved.
If you're going to buy other things, do it before noon. Have it in your cart already. When noon comes around, add it to your cart and check out. because it does not hold the product for you when it's in your cart. So if you start going shopping and it's in your cart, and 20 minutes later you go close the order out, and you may see it won't let you buy it because it's not there anymore. So,
what do you think? An hour? I know how many you got.
Well, because we're limiting it, we're stretching out. If we didn't limit it, it'd be gone in under an hour, easy. It may last a couple hours, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a couple hours only because it's a Monday. It's a Monday morning. Some people get in there a little later, but yeah, I mean,
because we're limited.
I don't even know how many we have, but I can say that end of the day, especially at that price,
you sent us a fair amount. To be honest,
these things are going to disappear.
Abe, are any going to be in person at the headquarters? Dang.
The problem with that, Kim, and that's a great question because we get asked that a lot, right? And the problem with that is if I'm going to put them in one store, I got to put them in all the retail stores.
All of them. Yeah.
And then it's just very little to go around. And then you end up pissing. So to have everybody go to one place to be able to get it, it's just a lot simpler. And that's why a lot of our locals do get stuff like this online. You know, some of these guys live right around the corner, but they'll go online to get it because there's just, we don't get that kind of stuff. We don't get enough of it to put it in all the retail stores. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you missed it, Abe. That was literally just Kim asking you to hold her 2 packs to the side. That's what that was.
Well, because I'm gonna be
between the lines. That's what that was. That was.
Kim,
I'm gonna be in my work truck. I was gonna swing by with the work truck and come grab one on the way back.
We'll have some for you. We'll have some for you here Monday.
Okay, because that size is perfect for me. I love that.
But for Kim, I would deliver it. I mean, come on, let's be real. We had a fun time last time we went out. What was it called? Naughty Bingo.
No, you did go. Yeah. You did go.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't get a report. We never got a report on it.
I posted it.
Oh, I thought we were going to have a KMA report on it.
Posting it and KMA is 2 different things.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about it the following week on KMA.
No, we didn't.
No, probably.
Did we have a show?
We might.
That may be why. That could be why.
That's probably why. You know, fucking missed the whole show. Forgot all about it. But yeah, it was fun. Went to Naughty Bingo. Very, very interesting night.
Kim, are you a regular at Naughty Bingo or?
Bro, everybody knew her. Kim's like the star of the
Everyone knows me at Naughty Bingo.
Everybody knows Kim at Naughty Bingo. Let me tell you something. Place was packed. Packed to the gills. Like,
where was it?
Gator Shack. Out in Loxahatchee, Redneckville.
Where's Redneckville?
Yeah, you ain't going. You ain't going. But yeah, it was packed. It was packed. It was a fun crowd, actually. And then if they hit something, it's like dollar Jello shots. So all of a sudden, like there's
if they call 069, they pass out dollar Jello shots everywhere, and they call that number a lot throughout the evening.
Yeah, they probably got 3 069s in there just worth the hit. Let the shots flow.
That's what I would do.
That's fun. We had one bar over there. There's just a stack of them sitting there with all of us. It was a good time.
True story.
Really?
I did it like 3 times. I was at Naughty Bingo and someone texted me about Alan Rubin being in the whereby. So while I was sitting at the bar, I just logged in, kicked him out, logged out. Logged in, logged out. I did it about 3 times.
What did he do? Do we know what he did?
No, he was just there.
Oh, he's just there. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's like our modus operandi with Alan Rubin.
Yeah.
It's like our little fun game.
It's like a 5-year running joke.
Yes.
The
question, obviously, here's a man who's never played bingo in his life and has no clue what the fuck bingo is. It's not trivia, bro. There's no questions. They read a number and you have it on your bingo card. You mark it. What makes it naughty is the prizes. And let me tell you something.
Oh, I forgot about the prize.
Let me tell you something. The weirdest prize of the night, which I will bring up. Do you have it in your possession, or who took that home? Actually,
you took it home.
No,
we gave it to you guys. Wait,
no, you gave it. Hold on.
Which prize? Which prize are we talking about?
No.
Where's the dildo? Where's the
very normal prize to take home? That was.
We gave you a normal prize.
Right. No, the really weird one, the weirdest one of the night.
This one. This one.
A foot.
What was it?
It was a foot. I'm thinking it was a hand. No, it was a foot.
The foot.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, it looked like a real foot, but it was like no muscle.
This is not Saturday
or
morning radio.
It was like a sack of a foot, and it was a sleeve.
I've never seen anything like it.
Like, who would use that?
I was rocked to my core when I saw that thing.
One of your friends won it, and everybody was passing it around like no one was taking it home. I don't know if anybody.
Well, no one wanted it. I think that thing stayed at the bar that night. I don't think anyone took it home.
It was literally a foot sleeve. So weird. So,
crazy.
No, it's
yeah,
a sleeve. It was a
that
single.
crazy.
No, it was a single entryway into the ankle of the foot.
It was the ankle. What did we call it? Oh, we had a name for it. Do you remember the name?
No.
I don't know if I can say it on here. Can I say it on here?
We're not regulated by the FCC. So.
It was the fajankle, like you had to into the ankle.
The vagina.
The fajankle. It had ankle in it, like you were just having to sleep with an ankle. It was the oddest thing.
Yeah, it really was.
Weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The prizes are what makes
The prizes were hilarious. So, Alex, we'll see you and the wife at Naughty Bingo next week.
Marissa would die before she went to Naughty Bingo. I can't even put this image up.
Oh, you got it.
I can't even put
Did
this
you
image
look
Put
it
it
up?
up.
Put it up. I
Put
want
it
to
up.
see.
We're gonna go down. We're going down.
We're
gonna go down.
I hope you watch. I hope you're watching live, people, because this episode is not. I'm putting it up quick.
That was it.
If you missed it, you missed it. For the people listening, I'm sorry, but it's exactly as Abe described it. It's an ankle with a vagina slit at the top.
Mm-hmm.
At the ankle part. Yep, pretty much.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
all right, we've gone far from Saturday morning radio at this point.
We're glad you came on, Dave, huh?
Yeah.
About the nitty gritty.
We went from Basin Smalls to an OnlyFans page really quick.
Right.
Well, listen, Dave, I really want to thank you for taking time out of your Saturday. Listen, I'll be texting Dave at 1:30 in the morning. This guy's still up. We text him back and forth 1:30 in the morning. So
he yelled at me to go to bed the other night.
Yeah, I sent him something and he responded. I'm like, what the fuck?
Isn't he funny? He'll do that. He'll text you at 3 a.m. and be like, why the fuck are you awake? I'm like, well, you clearly are.
Well, this is before the time text. I use a lot.
Yeah, no, now he's Abe loves. Now he's got the time text, which is great.
But yeah, Dave, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah.
It was an honor to release this news on KMA Talk Radio.
We appreciate it.
All our KMA crew and fans out there. That's right. You got the jump on this. You'll know about it. Monday, you'll be first people in the country. We will get it Monday noon Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Smokein.com. Dave, have a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye,
Look forward
Dave.
to seeing you right up later, Coop. Coop's got the exclusive, too.
Right after the show.
Rest of the media. All right, you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you, Dave.
Later, my brother.
Thank you. Bye.
I like to get them off right before we went to break because I always feel like our fans will feel like it's more genuine when we're talking about his shit when he's not on, right?
Yeah.
But this is a solid stick.
I said it. And look, I'll be honest, I don't get excited about 4x38. It doesn't excite
I mean, look, I don't mind the small cigars because honestly, sometimes that's just all I got time to enjoy, right? But this is good. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It's hardier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you want that, you're not done, but you need. And a lot of those little cigars just don't do it. This will do it for you. You know what I mean?
You're not smoking air. You're not smoking air with this. It's got some pop to it. It's got some pop.
Right. Yeah.
I've retro what you're looking for times and almost had to cough. It was
this will give you.
I wasn't expecting it to be so full. Look, fucking Gary Brooks is on fire. Does it pair with
Whataburger opened in North Carolina. Is why he's saying that. Yeah.
I have yet to have a Whataburger.
I went to Whataburger on Thursday morning. Yep.
I went to Texas last year and had one. It was so good.
It's
really good.
I'm gonna tell you something.
It was so good.
What's in Vegas? What's right
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. I haven't had a Whataburger.
I haven't had an In-N-Out yet either, to be honest with you.
They're different. Yeah, I don't understand really why there's this comparison, but they're different. They're different options. They're different burgers.
I every time someone tells me about a good burger joint, I'm just usually let down.
It's still a chain. It's still a fast food chain, but I think it's a step up over like a Burger King or Wendy's or even a McDonald's. Yeah.
So it's not an amazing burger. It's just a great fast food burger.
I like it. Yeah, it's a very good fast food burger. Yeah,
I think that's the problem because psychologically they got me going into this thing like this is going to be an amazing burger. You're all raving about it. They talk about, and it's like it's just a good fast food burger. It's
not aesthetically going to be like a work of art when you see it. It's a fast food burger. They tend to put mustard on theirs, and there's a spicy ketchup. If you like ketchup, there's a spicy ketchup.
Whataburger puts mustard on their burgers?
Yeah,
that's odd.
Yeah.
You don't like mustard?
I don't usually put it on a burger.
You can get away with it. You can get away with it.
Ketchup mayo is the
they have a spicy ketchup if you're
ketchup
into.
Mayo is like the good recipe for burgers, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't like
gotta
mayonnaise.
try. I gotta try mayonnaise. No, not on a burger. I gotta
No
try
mayonnaise
on a burger.
I'm not a mayo guy at all. Yeah,
I hate mayonnaise on everything. I'm not a mayonnaise
But
girl, and I just
I don't
started
know.
liking mustard like a year ago.
yeah.
Only my son likes mustard. No one in
Their
my
mustard
my
has
son
a very strong vinegar component to it, is what I'll tell you. Too.
I hate vinegar.
Okay.
It
No,
may not
see
be.
that. I like.
You
I
probably
like-
should get the mustard.
I
You
like
probably
it.
should
I
get the
hate
mustard, Abe. Yeah.
I hate Macanelli, Tabasco. I hate anything vinegar based. I think
It's definitely got a vinegar component to it.
When we were at
I don't know though. To me, Abe, like Five Guys still reigns supreme to me.
Look,
Oh, I
ain't
love
gonna lie.
Five Guys.
I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, that is the standard for not a gourmet burger for me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every time I go try one of these, I'm like, it's not better than Five Guys. What's the big deal?
But you could get it quicker than Five Guys too, and I don't think it's worth.
Is it? It's
Five
that.
Guys is slow.
Five Guys takes
No,
what, an
but
extra
I've
60
never been
seconds?
in and out. So I mean, maybe this
Hold
is
on,
like
what
you know,
do
it's
you mean
faster.
you get it quicker. Five Guys has like a fucking machine process.
They don't have a drive. They don't have a drive-through.
Yeah, but I'm saying true.
They don't have a drive-through. Is what
Right,
I'm
Right,
saying.
so it's less.
downside.
It's a little less fast foodish, but still kind of.
I mean, there's an argument if Five Guys is fast food, and I don't really care
It's
either
a
way.
chain.
It's a chain.
Fast
I
food or
think-
not, it's a chain.
I
It's a
think
chain.
Five Guys is 100% fast food. You get it fucking fast.
I don't have an argument. I don't have a problem with that. The fries, I like their fries at Five Guys, but you got to eat the fries like there. You can't like let them sit, but they're
I
really
think
good
that's
fries.
every fry. What fry can you let sit? I
True.
think
Listen,
There's a specialty. There's a
2025.
specialty.
That's what air fryers are for.
my kids.
I've never
love-
seen a
Yes.
fry that an air fryer can't bring back to life
My kids
because
love
fries die
PDQ.
quick.
All right. If you go through the drive-through, those waffle fries from PDQ are delicious. By the time I fucking get home, they suck.
Right.
Yeah.
You throw them right back in the air fryer. You throw them right back in. That's what I throw them right back in the air fryer.
That's one of the pieces of equipment we don't own.
Really?
Yeah.
Air fryer?
We
I
had
have
one.
two.
Your
We had
oven
one.
probably has an air fryer. I'm gonna bet your oven has an air fryer as part of it. My oven has an air fryer.
It might
Oh,
be.
so that means I
Probably
have
might.
three. Actually, yes. Oh,
Our
how do you
mic-
not use an
our-
air fryer?
But they're
Randy
just not. It
had
doesn't
one.
heat up as
Randy
quick.
didn't care for it. It was like an
Really,
extra
it's
piece
like
of
the
equipment.
simplest.
Like,
It will be the next thing to go into the kitchen gadget graveyard,
Really?
like the George Foreman's did. You remember
you
the
think
George?
so? Why do you say that? Because everybody seems to be using it.
I see these things turn over every 10 years, and someone comes up with something else. Is what I'm saying.
I mean,
mean,
there was
Oh.
a point where George Foreman grill was a fucking every fucking house. ever
Yeah,
wanted.
but
Yeah.
here's the thing,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, I don't unless you can cook up something that will cook especially for kids, things like French fries and chicken nuggets faster than an air fryer. I don't know. Whatever you come up with, great. I'm all for it. But
Faster
air fryer reigns supreme when you're talking chicken nuggets and French fries for a 4-year-old.
Yep.
When you want to
Yep.
bring buffalo wings back to life, French fries back to life, it just the speed of it, you know. So for me, I mean, we use it every day.
Really?
Yeah, but because Marissa's, because she's a lunatic, she's got to put it away every day too. I got a double one, 2 shelves. Oh, it's this big. She's got to put it away in the cabinet every day, even though we use it literally 2-3
Oh,
times a
she
day.
takes it off the counter and puts it away.
Cause she don't like, her. She don't like the clutter. It's too much. So yeah,
I
she
think
literally.
my wife.
I
think
can
tried the air
appreciate
fryer,
that.
never
I
made
can
it on the
appreciate
counter.
that. I
So
can
she
never.
literally. I'm not kidding. Mine's is this big. It's two. It's the top one and the bottom. I can cook 2 different. She puts it away every day, and then takes it out 3-4 times a day, and puts it back away.
Oof. Yeah. I don't handle the kitchen. I haven't cooked in probably a year. That's a Michael job there. The cleaning, the cooking, all that. Yeah, I don't do any of that.
All right. Well, everyone, that was breaking news for you on KMA Talk Radio. We're going to have more up coming in hour number 2. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Keep it lit. sure you get your chance to win some epic Honest Abe here with the GOAT to tell you about Smokin's Cigar of the Month Club. Alex, tell our fans out there why our club is the best darn club out there.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you why. Because every month I personally handpick 5 premium cigars. No filler, no fluff, no fugazis. These are all premium handmade name brands that you can find in any brick and mortar store in your area. All delivered to your door for $34.95. And our average monthly retail value since the inception of our club has been almost $57. Another great feature of our Cigar of the Month Club, Alex, tell them about the ease of our Cigar of the Month Club. I'll tell you, I hate subscription services. It's always a pain to cancel them, turning them on. We've made it super simple. All you gotta do is log into your account. There's a little green button there. If it's green, you're active. You want to take a break, you're going out of town, simply hit the button and you'll deactivate your membership. Want to turn it back on? The exact same easy process. You can turn it right back on. We've made it that easy for you. Another great feature is our Double Down Club. Alex, tell them about the Double Down Club. We had so many of our members reach out to us who really enjoyed our selections every month that they wanted to know there was a way they can get 2. And we've made that very simple. With a simple check mark, you can get double this great selections every month and save $10. Does our club have perks? Of course it have perks. You want to tell them about the perks? As a member of our club, every month there's a special discount code where if you like any of the selections, we will offer them to you, so you want to come and get some more, you can get them at a special discounted rate for our Cigar of the Month Club members. And finally, expedited shipping. Tell them how fast we get the stuff out, Alex. We get the stuff out on the 28th of every month. Our membership... Hi, my name is Steve Saka, and I hate this show, but it's the best way to start your Saturday. Don't know what happened there with the commercial. I think I clicked on one of the wrong buttons as I was trying to start it, but we're back. It's KMA Talk Radio, Hour 2, here with the gang. The man who brings you the news, William the Stoop Cooper, and the lovely Miss Kim Keeney. Alex is still on bathroom break. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I was trying to prep the Saka doll for a gag coming in. I think I prepped the wrong button and started the whole commercial over again. That being said, it's Hour 2. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna.
My timing was perfect. If you didn't fuck up the commercial,
you would have made it.
I'm just saying, I would have made it. I heard it. I'm like, wait, what happened?
I fucked it up.
I keep the headphones on to know where we're at.
I think my mouse was still over it. I must have my trackpad, and I must have tapped it, and it started the commercial from the beginning. Like, what the fuck? Anywho, you missed our premiere of the new Summer of Saka commercial. I thought it was pretty tight.
I watched it.
Did you? I love when they have all the coins and cards spinning at once.
What was the connection with Kool and the Gang and the watch? That's what I was trying.
So Accutron does these cool projects,
right?
So I think they did one with La Polina, which is how we met the fun.
Yep.
Great people, Rich, and we're gonna have Richard Calmaris on the show from Accutron to talk about the watches and the timepieces. I didn't even know how to set the date on mine. Alex had to give me instructionals, but shit, Coop, I blacked out. What was the question you originally?
The question was like the Kool and the Gang connection. I didn't know if it was a Saka connection. That's why.
So Robert Bell owns a champagne company. It's a very well-known champagne. It's called Le Cool.
Uh-huh.
So it was a project they did for Le Cool, his company, and it was basically designed for his tastes and whatever. So it was done for Robert Cool. And from what I understand, they only made 50 of those watches.
Okay.
So obviously because of the face and how it looks and how gorgeous it is, we couldn't brand it.
That's very nice skeleton face.
It really is, yeah.
We couldn't brand it, but they got one of us, and from what I understood, it was shown off or premiered at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for some event, and they got us one. So that's going to be like the grand prize, the grand finale when we do the grand finale.
They are not cheap. I can tell you those Accutron watches, yeah.
No, they're not inexpensive watches, and that one's the most expensive. It's the most expensive of what we're giving away, but we're giving away 4 of them. We're giving away one of these every month, and then the grand prize. So it's a crazy summer of Saka this year. It should be a pretty fun ride, you know.
So you're not going to put a doll into one of those dolls into Summer Saka?
No,
the sales will go up. I'm just saying.
Look, the big boss has spoken. He saw it and immediately said, "Send me all the dolls." He didn't even want me to keep one. And I want a new doll because I do not want in the universe.
Okay.
That was his words. Marshall, we're going to have, like I said, Richard from Accutron to really give in depth, but Accutron has a great history. It's one of the earliest, quality timepieces that was made, and this one was actually used by astronauts. That's why they call it the astronaut. It was supposed to handle G-force and stuff like that. But you can go to their website, check them out. There's a lot of good data and history about the company and the mechanism and what makes the way their timepieces run so special. But we'll have Richard on hopefully in the next couple of weeks, like during the early Saka, and we'll talk about him. And honestly, when I was thinking this up, it was a shot in the dark. I mean, it's a bull of a company. I didn't think there was a chance in hell they were going to make me because even the other watches that they did, I don't think they changed the faces at all. So I didn't think they were going to actually make them and put a Dunbarton logo right on the face. And sure enough, they were cool enough. And they did. So gotta love them. Gotta love them. Stands marketing. Yes,
that's a bad picture, but that's the Cool in the Gang one.
Yes, that's the Lake Cool.
Look at that.
Let me see if I can get a better picture of that.
Yeah, it's really a gorgeous watch, and that's like ostrich skin band.
Let me see if I get a better picture.
So, and it's really funny because those, in the electrostatic watches, those gears, like normally if you have an automatic watch, like it requires like this kind of movement, right? And that's why the watch winders rotate them to keep the movement spinning. Man, if you just tap the casing of that watch, you'll see all those gears spin and vibrate. Like it will wind itself on the slightest tap or vibration on the watch. It's a pretty wild watch.
I think here, let me see if this comes better. It's just come on, give me that photo.
So funny story with Gary Brooks. You like the DT logo, and I shit you not. You want to talk about it. Yeah,
that's it, right?
That's it.
And guys, like what you don't realize that you don't see in a still picture, as you're wearing that watch, you're going to see also all those round.
They vibrate, they rotate,
they move. You'll see them moving real time as you look at your watch. That's what powers the watch. So you'll see all those mechanisms moving with the watch on your wrist. It is a really cool. Them skeleton designs are cool because you can actually see the function of the watch. Not just the dial.
Yeah, and I mean, if some people are unfamiliar, like Briggs was, like a normal winder. I don't know if you can see it on here. Like a gold piece there. I mean, it's not going to come on.
Yeah, it's the automatic. That's the.
But yeah, it's like a half circle that just will spin around. At least it's got those 3 wheels on it. But I ain't gonna lie, because Gary talked about he liked the DT logo. Okay, I just want you to imagine this. I'm working with an international watch company and Steve Saka at the same time. If I had to tell you how many times this logo was moved and resized before Steve liked it, it was a nightmare. I had to go back because they put it in the spot they thought was best. I ain't going to even say anything because it's going to start a whole debate on where the logo should have been. And when I saw it and I showed it to a few of our friends, like, oh, that's awesome. Steve hated it. Can you imagine? I had to go back to these guys and say, yeah, can we move the logo? Oh, well, what's wrong with it? It's got to be, wants to be smaller. I mean, Steve's concern, and I get it, is because Steve's a really, really hardcore watch fan, is he didn't want it to be so domineering on the watch. He didn't want to take away from the aesthetic of the brand in Accutron. So he wanted it there, but in a more obscure fashion, in a different location. And that's what we ended up with right there. Only 6 of these were made. So only 6 of these exist in the world. The Dunbarton edition.
The Dunbarton edition.
Bro, some of you people really may never know. You may never know.
Resistant diameter, 41 millimeter.
Yeah, they don't make a big.
Let me see that. Yeah, I mean, most people, you're a bit. Let me see that on your wrist, Dave. Let me see. I just want to see the.
It actually doesn't look tiny. It's nice.
41's a decent size.
No, it doesn't look tiny.
And you got big wrists. Yeah, no, that's a come. Oh, hey,
I can't. I got a desk in the way.
Yeah, no, it's a nice size 41 on your wrist. That looks good. That's a good looking watch.
Yeah, and I tell you what's funny too is the.
As a watch nerd, I like
the bezel doesn't click. It rotates smoothly, which I've never had a watch with a. The bezels.
Well, that's because it's a GMT. It's not a diver. Divers are made to click and only click one way because
they only click one way because you don't want to.
When you're diving, when they were used
both ways. Yes.
Yeah, that's a G. So you could probably set 3 time zones with that. That's with that round bezel. What is it? 60 or what does it come to? 12s or 24s on the dial? On the
goes
bezel?
All the way up to 24. It's in 12s. 2 sections of 12. The top half's there's like an uncolored 12, and then there's a red section of 12. Yeah, I don't even understand how a GMT watch works.
Yeah, so that essentially that would be your AM PM. Like you would move, like if you would move that, and if you want to set the dial to the 3 o'clock, you would put to, you just look at the 12 on the. It's.
Oh, I see. You put that. You change where the hours are on the watch.
Yeah, on the watch.
I get it.
And then based on where your dial is,
Interesting.
But nice watch. Nice way. I got to play with it a little more. You didn't. Now that you have one open, I wasn't even. He wouldn't even let me take the plastic off the.
Yeah, man, you want to fucking put it on.
I'm like, man, listen, I got this. I can put it back exactly.
Well, hold on. I would have let you done it because I made one for me. Steve made one. We made a couple extra. But if I had my watch, I would have let you play with it. But the only one we had at the time was the LE Cool.
No, that one.
I'm like, bro, you're not taking that out of the package.
Yeah, it was in the
safe. You're not taking that apart. We're giving that one away. So, anyways, it's that time, everyone. Fine folks at Avo Cigars, always here every week on KMA Talk Radio to test the musical acumen of the group. And our man Alex is going to take us down that road. It's time to find out. Can you name that jam?
Nope.
I gotta love it because Kim Keeney did the cutest little nope right before it went.
I got it. I know. I caught it.
Bro,
it just made it. It just.
It was so innocent and cute, and like you name that jam. Nope. Oh my gosh. I don't know if Jessica actually watches the show. It's the most shouting out there. I'm like,
yeah, that was perfect.
Edit that, get that. But if you're watching, grab that, please. I don't know.
All right.
I've mentioned a couple clips to grab, and I haven't seen any reels or using them or not.
All right, here's the deal. I have 3 sets of lyrics I will be reading as mundanely as possible. You guys will have to guess the name of the song and the band or artist. All right, here we go.
I should retire after last week.
What's that? Oh, yeah, you did good. Yeah, you killed it last week.
Crushed.
All right, here we go. Song number 1. I come home in the morning light. Mother says, when you gonna live your life right?
Girls just want to have fun. Cyndi Lauper.
Wow.
Cooper. I thought that was going to be a tough one. I figured people weren't even going to think Cyndi Lauper was on my radar. Well done, Cooper. He wastes no time.
You want to know a fun fact? Cyndi Lauper lived like 3 houses away from my parents' vacation house when I grew up. So I met her. She was really nice. Yes.
Was
up in Vero Beach.
Did she
ever witness any epic parties or what? I mean, she's a girl who likes.
I mean, I was a kid. I definitely wasn't invited, and if I
did,
I was
invited. But you said she lived down the street.
She was like 3 houses away. My parents were probably there, but I was asleep. I was a kid.
My dad drove Cyndi Lauper when he was a driver for CBS Records, so he drove her many times. Yep. That makes sense. There's a famous picture we put up at his memorial of Cyndi Lauper on his lap. So yeah, it's a
wow.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Lyric number 2. Out on the road today, I saw a deadhead sticker on a Cadillac.
Eagles.
Hotel California.
No.
No, it's not. It's the
Out
Eagles.
on the road today. It is not the Eagles. I saw a Deadhead sticker on a Cadillac.
That's all you're giving us? Just 2 fucking lines?
That's all you need, bro. That's all the audience needed.
Don Henley? I know this.
You might be on to something.
Fuck, I
might
know
be
it.
on to something. Well, consider.
Whoa. Boys of Summer. Boys of Summer. Don Henley.
Don Henley, Boys
Yeah.
of Summer. You guys
Yeah.
put it together.
Yeah.
Eagles. It was the Eagles.
It was the Eagle. I was thinking Hotel.
It was an Eagle.
True.
It was an Eagle.
Yeah.
True.
It's funny because I started hearing him singing the song. I knew it was an Eagles voice, but then when you said it wasn't Eagles, I figured it had to be Don Henley.
All right. Here we go. A little longer one for Abe. There's a room where the light won't find you, holding hands while the walls come tumbling down.
Everybody wants to rule the world. Tears for Fears.
I
No,
almost
favorite
didn't.
song.
I knew Cooper. I knew as soon as it was Tears for, I said I shouldn't even. I knew Cooper had Tears.
No,
for
it is my all-time favorite song. So I mean,
Oh,
there was no way I was getting beat on that.
Is that it?
That is, I mean, there's. Let me see if there's. Let me see what I got. One that's not too difficult to. I don't even know some of these songs.
Pick a country western so Kim could win.
It doesn't matter. Even when I sing songs, I always sing the songs wrong. It doesn't matter. I don't know
the misheard
lyrics.
lyric. Me too.
You don't know the right words anyway. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's great.
All right. Let's shoot up. We're gonna give Kim 3 classic country songs.
Oh, I'm out.
I'll be out.
You're not. Well, this was easy. I'm not gonna do the first one. I fell into a burning ring of fire. That's all I'm gonna
Johnny
say.
Cash. Ring of
Okay.
Fire.
Johnny Cash.
All
Okay,
right.
that's easy.
I would have known that easy.
I was drunk the day my mom got out of prison, and I went to pick her up in the rain. I don't know
That's every
this song. I don't know
that's
this, but that
every
is literally
country song.
every single country song that's ever been written. That is his
That's
basis
every-
sentiment.
I
of
know
every
the song. I don't know if I know the artist though.
Mom got drunk. Picked her up from
Yeah.
prison. Wait, is that the one where then she got run over by a bus or something?
I have no idea.
And then
Kim.
his
I don't listen to
dog,
country.
and
These
they
are
said
for
this
you,
was a
not for
terrible.
us. These are for you, not for us.
I already
I
said
know
I
the
don't
song
know the
name.
lyrics.
What's the song name?
You never even called my name.
Oh, Cooper is fucking Cooper, man. The guy just
Disgusting.
knows. We know.
I
We
just don't
need
know the
we-
artist.
we-
I don't know the
We
artist.
need an
though.
artist. We need an artist.
It's some one-hit wonder guy. I think it is.
David
Someone-
Allen Coe. David Allen
That's
Coe.
what
Oh,
it
that's
Yeah.
oh, well.
Charlie Creekmore got it right.
All right,
Good
here
job,
we go.
Charlie.
Last one for Kim, who clearly needs our help, who doesn't listen to country. All right. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair.
Put all on my roots. I know the song. I
Kim,
know
you have
the
failed at this segment miserably, and we did this
Guys,
just for you.
and I literally said no when you guys said this was the next
but
segment. I
before
know
we
that I'm
even
going to
started-
fail.
Oh, wait. This
is
is
true.
this
That
is like
is
this should be a layup. Yeah, this should
That
be a
is
layup.
true.
You
think
could
that's
give
right.
me the lyrics of my favorite song. I'm still not going to know
Low
it.
Places.
Yeah.
What's that? Yes.
Steve Brooks, Low Places. That was Eli Sarge.
No, Abe, not Steve Brooks.
Brooks,
He is a
that's-
fucking
It's Garth
smoking
Brooks.
customer of 25
Garth
years.
Brooks. Steve Brooks. Garth Brooks. It's a
All right, well,
Brooks.
listen, we see a lot more Steve Brooks than we do Garth Brooks, so I get it. Steve Brooks, for those that don't know and don't know Steve Brooks, but cool fact, at least unless he's lying, Steve Brooks owns Abe's first box of Opus X, does he not?
Yes.
Oh,
Bigger fact. So when Wayne Suarez, so this was a process back in the day, and it's really funny because I meant to make a post and I didn't post it because Wayne Suarez was actually in my thoughts recently.
Who's Wayne
And-
Suarez?
Wayne Suarez was Carlito's brother-in-law. He was married to Cynthia Fuente.
Oh,
okay?
okay.
And I'm going to tell you a funny story. He really was in my thoughts one day, and I hope if anybody stays in touch with him and clips this out and sends this to him. So Wayne, you couldn't be opened as an Opus account unless Wayne Suarez visited your store. Okay. And so they actually had to come and visit Cuesta. It was the only store I had at the time before they opened us up Opus X. And then we took them out to lunch. And one of our outside accounts had a bundle of Opus X, and they were very concerned about it. So they wanted me to take them there to go see it. And they questioned it, and they had asked to look at the bundle. And it looked like, I guess sometimes they do these charity functions like the Dan Marino thing, whatever. And they have special cigars and bundles.
Right.
Some of them made it in the tertiary market, but it ended up being a legitimate bundle of Opus X they had. But he opened us up, and Wayne, when my wife was pregnant, Wayne Suarez said, "You're going to have a daughter." I'm like, "Nah, I'm going to have a son. I feel it." Right. And of course, Petra came along. Then when my wife was pregnant again, he goes, "Yep, you're going to have a daughter." I'm like, "No, it's got to be a son this time." I've got a feeling it's son. And it wasn't. It was my second daughter. When my third daughter came, Wayne said, "You're going to have a daughter again." I said, "Bro, why do you keep saying that?" And this was his exact words to me. He goes, "Abe, I just see your future, and you're just always going to be surrounded by beautiful women." And then this past weekend, my 3 daughters stood up at their aunt's wedding, and I took this picture and I said, "That motherfucking Wayne Suarez, man, was he right? Look at that."
Yeah,
those were my 3
Gorgeous.
daughters. So it made me actually think of Wayne this weekend. I'm like, that fucker was right. He was right, man. But Wayne opened us up, and then we got our first shipment of Opus X, and Steve Brooks was actually the first customer to buy the first box we ever sold. Now, interesting enough, he put that in his locker, and this is, I'm going to venture to say, just give me a second, 98, 2000, 2002, somewhere between 2000 and 2002, 2001, maybe something like that. 1998, yeah, it's got to be at least 2000. So he puts this box in his locker and says, "I'm not going to open it until my mother passes away." True story. And his mother, his family, I think, was tied to TGIF Fridays, and they Smith and Walensky's. I think
Smith and Walensky. Yeah, right.
So about 2 or 3 years ago, she passes away, and I do have to say, he was at peace with it, but it was really one of the most beautiful ways, I think.
If I can pick and choose and say, this is how I want to die, that is exactly how I want to go. Real quick, this woman in her 90s or late 80s or whatever, went out to dinner with her friends, had a great time, dressed to the nines, had a good time, went in the parking lot, got in her car, and died in the parking lot.
Didn't even start the car.
Didn't even start the car after a beautiful dinner and night with her friends.
Yep.
And just died in the parking lot.
Yep. So
if I got a guy, that would be the script. That would be the script. That had a great night and went home and that was, didn't even.
So he still had that box, and he bought it here to the shop. He cracked it open. We both lit the cigar out of that.
He still has it. It's open now, but he still has it in the locker. Literally, Abe's first allocation of Opus.
Yeah, first box we ever sold. First customer to buy a box from us. So yeah, still had it, and I got to smoke a cigar from the first box of Opus that we ever sold. 25 years ago, probably. Crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty well.
He also used to side as our resident car salesman as well.
I had never been to a car dealership. Every car I ever got since I moved to Florida, he sold me, and he always bought it here.
They just bring it right here, right?
Very spoiled. I'd go online, I'd build it. I said, "This is what I want." He'd bring it here. I test drive it. I like it.
I know, that's what I'm like. Damn, next car I get, I'm gonna have to go to a dealership and deal with that whole mess.
I just went through that shit. I'm like, fuck, you're tired.
You're tired.
Paperwork here. We used to sign it up. Let me see if I can find another box.
The double?
I see it right here.
Where'd you go?
Very special box I got. 17 years ago. Okay.
Oh.
This box is 17 years old, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it on the camera.
32 cigars.
Wait, it says Petra.
April 13th, 2008. Oh, that's awesome.
So after my first child, Carlito gave me this, and I said I wouldn't crack it until she was 18 years old. Even though it's 21 now, I'm still standing by to 18 because that's when the box was purchased. So when she gets 18, I almost say, man, how could I start her off on this cigar? It's almost not fair. But this will be her first cigar that her and I will have together next April. Next April. So it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be a wild April next year because if you heard me say this story, I wrote every one of my kids a card at their birth, and the cards are all sealed that they get on their 18th birthday.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, just how I was feeling, what was going through my head at the time, what I hoped to be as a father, what I hoped for them to, as a kid. And what's crazy is like I can't remember nothing. Like I have no idea what I wrote.
Sure, that long ago in that moment, right?
Right. Especially Petra being the first, very emotional.
Right.
When she opens up and reads it, I'm probably gonna fucking choke like a
Petra's probably got a 2-page letter. The rest of the kids got 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
You know, the first one always gets the goods. I was thinking the same thing with the college. Like Petra got you guys. None of these other kids are. You're not going with anyone.
It's the truth. If you look at our photo files, like Petra had like 5,000 photos. And Zane got like maybe 1,500. Well, Asher was a boy, so it kind of was a little bit different. First boy, but yeah, by the time we got to Zara, it was in the hundreds, like of photos we had for young age. Yeah, I guess it's just. I mean, look, you can't deny it. There's something about that first one as a parent that you just you never forget. Sure. I do wish they kind of still had the smoking rooms because it was a very tense moment, and especially because our generation, Coop and my generation, right? We literally grew up watching men smoking in a waiting room, having nothing to do with this whole ordeal, and then when you go see your baby for the first time, it's through a glass window with like 30 babies in fucking trays and tapping through the glass at the one that's yours. That's
right. I have done waiting rooms. I have done I am old enough to do the waiting room stuff.
That's what we grew up.
Yeah.
It's the experience of people having babies. So, I'm in this waiting room, right? I'm not waiting room. I'm in the fucking surgery room. What am I talking about, right? And they put this like screen up so that you can't see the other side because my wife was having a C-section. She went through labor like a very long time. And, a C-section is a very fucking brutal procedure, man. All I know is they start pushing on the stomach to push the baby out. This whole fucking table's bouncing. The posts are bouncing. I'm like traumatized. I'm like,
guts are laying beside you.
Bro, I'm traumatized. So then the steam comes out, starts crying, dirty. They call me over. Now they wheel my wife away. Gone. I'm like, where's she going? No, you follow me. They cleaned her. They bathed her. They wrapped her up. They put her on a scale. And then they take me back to the suite. And, she puts the baby in my hands. And she says, your wife should be back in 20, 30 minutes. And I, like, probably the scariest moment. I'm like, where the fuck are you going? Right. Your wife will be back. What am I going to do?
Don't leave me alone with this.
And the baby was crying. So I asked him, do you have a pacifier? And my wife noted no pacifiers. And they wouldn't give me one because my wife said.
I never did pacifiers either.
My wife didn't want to give our kids pacifiers. And my wife, she noted no pacifier, and they wouldn't give me one. And here I am. And I'll never forget. I was talking to her. It was the petrified moment of my life. All alone for 20 minutes.
I had that moment when we first came home. Because it was like, okay, there's no nurses, there's no.
Now, were you in
it's
the
all
room?
on us to keep this fucking thing alive.
Were you in the room?
C-section, yes.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
100%. The only good part about a C-section, literally the only good part is you can start taking pictures of the baby right away because it doesn't come out with that deformed head from going through the canal. That's the only. It's the only thing. The woman's banged up. Yeah, but it literally that's what you get. You get that half hour, 20 minutes, half hour while she's getting stitched up, literally just getting your guts shoved back inside her, and you're all alone with the kid.
Yeah, it's very scary. So yeah, it dulls down. When we first had our first kid, like we had that little speaker when you put him in bed, you could hear it. Yeah. It would torment my wife. Because listen, I gotta admit, my wife, who like just really Googled and read a lot of her information, she got the kids trained early. They were all potty trained basically as soon as they could stand up. I mean, she got them potty trained early. They went to bed. All my kids went to bed, no problem. But she never picked them up when they cried. But it used to torment her, right? It really did. She's like, I got to go outside. She'd go outside and disappear, so she didn't have to hear the crying, whatnot. By the second one, it was a little bit easier. By the third one, she was just shutting the fucking speaker off. You know what I mean? You get,
you realize they're not wine glasses. They're gonna live. They're gonna be all right.
Yeah, you get.
I was the opposite though. It's when I didn't hear anything. Now I get out of bed and make sure this motherfucker's still breathing because this is all. I was worse when I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
I got 3. If it's quiet, someone's fighting. Someone did something. Something's wrong. There's something broken, or they stole something. You never know. But if it's quiet, it's no good.
Right.
cigars were actually the reason that I was almost my ex almost didn't even make it to the first baby because he was downstairs smoking a cigar with my dad outside the hospital.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Not realizing that like it's coming out
Wow.
right now.
Yep. And I was like, "Where is everyone?" They're like, "They're outside having a cigar." I'm like, "Well, it's time. They need to come back now." Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah, crazy shit. Anyways, Cooper, I heard it was a light week for news.
Very light week, but we have a few things.
All right, well, let's find out what you got for us. It's that time. Let's find out what's the scoop with Coop.
Hey, yo, what's my theme music?
The Scoop with Coop. Breaking industry news. Hear it first on KMA Talk Radio and cigar-coop.com.
Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, very light week, but a couple of releases. First, there's a release that is finally hit the stores from Selected Tobacco. It's called the Nelson, and Selected Tobacco is the company behind Atabey, Byron, and those lines. And the Nelson's been something they've been showing at the trade show for about 3 or 4 years, but it hasn't come out yet. They've kind of gone back to the drawing board. I heard on a few things, but they finally this week are releasing the first size of the Nelson. It's going to be in a gift set that we just saw, where it's packaged in tubes. There's a single ashtray that's in there as well. It's going to carry a price point of $160. Those Selected Tobacco cigars are not cheap. And this has already started to hit the stores.
So, Cooper, this is the first rendition of that cigar. This is the first rendition of the cigar is the gift set. This is not available by the box yet.
It's not available in a box. It's in a 6x54 called the Illustres, and there's other sizes that are coming, but they've chosen to do the first release at this time as the gift set.
Abe, you wanted to point something out?
No, I'm texting. I can't remember even seeing this at the show.
It was This picture is mine from the show actually.
I don't know. They offered us this.
They weren't even talking about it. I saw it.
Yeah,
and asked them about it. They were very low key, and I happened to see it, and I said, "Hey, is this finally coming out?" And they said, "Yeah, it will be out later this year," is what they told me, and now it's hit.
Interesting.
So that is yeah, but they've been talking about this line since 3 or 4 years at least. I mean, with this.
I mean, you know. They really, I like the cigars they make.
I do too.
Absolutely. I think they're a good company. I know he watches the show, but they're just tough to deal with. They're just not an easy company to deal with. I mean, they're back ordered. They never have product. We never get what we ordered. I'm not sure there's a tiered preferential treatment how they're shipping people, because if they're treating everyone the way they treat us, where the fuck are people buying this shit?
Well, I'm sure there's.
We talked to him about it at the show. Yeah, you hope that's not the case. You hope that's not the case. You really do. You hope that's not the case, but it might be. But we talked to him. We talked to him at the trade show, and he admitted about the problems, and he said, you know, they're getting it under control. So hopefully they'll. We'll see what happens. What else you got?
Great products. Great products. I mean,
yep, they are. They are fantastic. I mean, they've been great to deal with from media. I'll say that. So they have been very good to deal with as a media partner. All right. Another release is a company called Houghton Young. That is a company that is owned by a guy by the name of Norm Houghton, who is part of the Elite Delta Force. And they told his story in the movie Black Hawk Down. He's had a cigar company for a few years. They have a new release out. It is called the Paladin Connecticut. It follows up their original release of the Paladin. So this cigar is just going to be hitting the stores originally in 5-count, 5 or 4 count now. Yeah, actually, it's 4. I think it's 4 count in there. They're going to be in packs, and then they're going to be coming out in. Yeah, they're 4 packs. I just confirmed that. And then they'll be coming out in boxes later this year. The interesting thing about this, I don't know if people know that John Carney's involved working with these guys right now. So
he is?
Yes, he is.
How'd that happen?
There's a business arrangement with between John Carney's Bentley company and Houghton Young. So the media release actually came from John Carney.
Distribution or what?
It's not distribution. It's more of like a consultative thing where I think he's kind of working to try to get their things on track.
Wait, so the media release came from Carney?
It came from Carney at his Houghton Young ID.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm just going to say
Carney
this.
is what?
Let me just say this because I know Carney well enough to say this. Carney, you got to do better with the image, bro. Come on, you got to do better, and you're a guy that does better. Carney's an image guy.
That's a press release. Photo?
That was what I got in the press release.
That's a press release.
Ooh.
Carney, come on, Carney, you're better than that.
So, what's the relationship between John Carney and Houghton Young? Again, I'm trying to understand this.
It's
Bentley,
kind of
a Bentley relationship somewhere.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, Houghton Young really doesn't have any cigar people right now working with them. So kind of the guide them through.
You mean they're clueless?
Norm Houghton's not
much.
Pretty much. Right. I don't want to but he's not a cigar guy. He's a military guy.
Look,
Yeah.
People get in, they don't know what they're doing. Listen, I'll tell you right now, Dan Thompson from McAuliffe will tell you right now, when they first got in, they didn't realize how clueless they were.
Yeah.
Until after they got it,
Yeah.
Till about a year or two, like, holy shit. I mean, I bet you look back upon the shit he did in the beginning now. It's like, wow, were we clueless?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. You could be clueless.
Yeah.
The goal is, how do you not become clueless? You need to find.
Well, in fairness to him, he found the guy who's not clueless, and so that was a smart move.
Yeah.
Hold on, before I say it's a smart move, I'm trying to understand what the relationship is. Is it defined? Do we know, or are we clueless?
We're foggy, is what we'll say.
Hold on,
because we know it's not a distribute. It's not like a traditional distribution. Because Carney's kind of in there working them. He's been doing events with them. He's been, I think, again, guiding them through what they need to do to get cigars released, and developed. I mean, I don't think they have that knowledge.
Is this a fact?
I doubt it.
I don't.
No, he's not the CEO of that. I don't know where he got that from. No, Norm Houghton's the CEO. Norm Houghton owns the company.
Maybe he thinks he's a CEO because
Norm Houghton is actually the title is CEO. Unless they're gonna give Carney well, you're gonna have to show me more with that. That's
Coop doesn't do rumors, Jason.
I don't know. I mean, if he heard something, I gotta have something. Yeah, show me.
Ooh. Careful, Coop. Careful.
Oh.
Look, look how grimaced his lips are. His lips are tight, like he's almost gonna say, "I'll take that bet." Careful,
I'm not taking a bet. I said if you can show me proof. I'm not taking a bet with that.
I ain't betting you. I didn't say it, fucking Jason.
Yeah. I mean, all I'm saying is Norm Houghton's company. Maybe he gave him the title, but I have not. Carney hasn't said anything to me on that. So,
am I gonna be the lone person that says I don't like this?
Why don't you like it?
What's there not to like?
I'm going to tell you what's not to like. As a guy who's seen this before in businessman, unless there's an interplay, and I've only seen this not implode one time so far, but I still believe there's an interplay that nobody knows about. Unless there's an interplay where there's an acquisition going on here. To let a guy who's supposedly owner of this brand, running this company, doing everything in this company, be a CAO or CEO or even work part-time as a consultant for another brand, if there's no interplay or interconnection here, doesn't work out. It seldom works out. Why would you first off, if I'm running a company, just putting it out there, if I'm running a company that I'm just starting out, right? I'm trying to build this, make this new. My company needs every ounce of my effort. And I don't care who you are, because you're talking to one of the greatest multitaskers, plate spinners that I know, right? Every minute that you dedicate to another project is a minute that you're sucking out of this project. That's the way it goes, right? And, I think Bentley really hasn't gotten close to where they want to get to. It needs his effort. So now you're telling me this guy's focusing on another company and there's no benefit or cross affiliation. Unless
that's the part. That's the foggy part. That's what I'm
telling you. Unless there's a long-term acquisition, right? Unless there's a long-term acquisition thing in here. Like, I mean, I don't know nothing. I'm talking out of school, but most people don't even know that, Aging Room is not a brand that's owned by Altadis.
Right. It's Raphael's brand.
It's Raphael, and he has a partner.
Yeah.
Okay. Partner works for Placencia. Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Right. But somewhere inside, let me tell you, I know nothing. I'm talking out of school, but my gut tells me there's an interplay to either acquire the brand or something's already set in place for some deal there or whatever. But yeah, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense.
The only thing I can
don't
find,
like it unless this is an acquisition,
the only thing I can find, Abe, there's a half a sentence quip on Half Wheel. This says Carney leads Bentley Tobacco USA, which has a service agreement to manage Hoot and Young's premium cigar operation. That is the only thing I could find on the internet.
So once again, then okay. So I thought Carney was doing private consulting for them.
No, it's definitely it's more. It's not private.
It's a Bentley thing. It's a Bentley.
It's a Bentley. That's why I said Bentley's kind of got an agreement through Carney.
Once again, that's almost like me saying I'm going to do a consult. Like I'm friends. I give advice. I gave advice yesterday to a guy on the phone who called me up and wants to do a multi-vendor event, somewhere else. I give advice, but to go do consulting work that I get paid for a guy who's technically my competition, I don't see why that fucking works unless I'm looking to acquire that at some point. If I can build it and we can get you X number of dollars, let us work your team, and then we're going to acquire you and we're going to pay you this much.
That makes sense.
Otherwise, why? It's a clusterfuck. It's the McAuliffe All Saints clusterfuck. I mean, it's just it doesn't jive. I seldom see this kind of shit work. So it'll be very interesting to see how things roll out over time with this. Either it's going to be very successful. I predict either it's going to be very successful, and Bentley will end up acquiring Hoot and Young, which they could probably use because they're, even though it's limited and still new, I think they're a little bit further ahead down the line than Bentley in the States.
Yep.
And or it's just going to disappear and quietly go away and never be talked about again. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, but in terms of the whole CEO thing, I don't know the answer to that. Why would I take a bet? When I don't know the answer. I'm saying I don't know the answer.
Don't take
as far as I know,
just tell them no. Get the fuck out of here. That's all.
It's like no. That's not. If I knew, I'd take a bet. I don't know. So I'm being honest.
You've offended my honor. I will not take the bet.
Of course, I don't take a bet. I don't know. If I know, I take a bet. I don't know. Yeah, but in terms of that, I know, like I said, Norm Hooten is the owner of that company, at least for now, and he's still calling the shots, from what I understand. So we'll see.
What else you got?
That should be your epitaph.
Who's we?
Who's we?
Show. Yeah.
Can we kick him out of? Is there a way to kick him out of here like the Whereby?
There is. I can boot him.
That's too cruel. I think you can only block him.
Okay.
That was the same. So that was the same problem we had when we were doing Zoom
with Rui,
connoisseur clubs with Rui. If I kicked Alan out, he couldn't come back to that. What else you got, Coop? You got an interesting one.
Last thing, and this has been bouncing around all week, and I kind of put this story in. This is on the whole tariff price increases. And last week, Espinosa actually put out something pretty interesting about their stand on the tariff price increases. They were going to wait 90 days to see how this all flushed out. And I thought it was kind of an interesting thing. I have not been reporting on these price increases because honestly, it's ridiculous to report on this stuff. I don't know. Everything's the same, I don't really need to report there's going to be a line item on an invoice or a pricing. It just, to me, I am more concerned about having accurate pricing personally.
It's already started.
What?
Tariffs on invoices.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the problem now on the retail level. And Alex doesn't even know this, and it'll be very interesting to see how he takes it. Unlike S-chip, no one's incorporating it into their costs so far. Or that I know of. I haven't looked at everybody's they're doing it.
That's a nightmare. How the hell do you do it? That is a nightmare.
Hold on. I got a worse one for you. Okay.
I already see what the problem is.
Hold on. I got a worse one for you because there's an upside and a downside to this. I'm going to explain it to you. And we should really talk about this because I think this is something that a lot of consumers are interested in and don't know how it's going to affect them. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to affect you. So, any one of your friends who are asking about tariffs, you should tag them to watch make them watch the whole show. But this is interesting here. Okay. So by line itemizing it, we don't know the equation and how they figured it out. So we're literally contacting everybody. So we want to know what the formula is on how you assess this, because we don't know if it's by price, by stick, or how it's done, because we just get a line item at the bottom of the invoice now, right? And we haven't found a consistent number across the different companies.
Right. And the problem, go ahead.
Yeah. So we haven't found a consistent number across all the companies. So I've instructed my team to contact, I don't care who the fuck they got to reach in the company, because the problem is the person answering the phone is going to have no fucking clue. So you're going to have to talk to somebody high level accounting in here, but we need to know the formula of how that is acquired. Now, Nightmare is correct. I don't know how retailers are going to transition this. Anybody who just raises their stick prices and calls it tariffs is just lazy and not really trying to do the right thing and figuring it out. So all you people, brick and mortars, pay attention. You got a retailer raises prices on sticks and say this is a tariff thing, and that's because of the tariffs. They're just being lazy because there's a lot of work to try to figure this out. So
absolutely.
Not to interrupt you, I just don't want to lose my train of thought.
No, and I think that was a good point. It was, obviously there was some stuff this week with the courts, right? One day they threw the tariff, one court threw the tariffs out, then the appeals court put them back in. I thought it was interesting because I started seeing, and by the way, they don't send it to the media. I get this all from retailers, that there were price increases actually being sent out the morning after the circuit court threw out the tariffs, and there were companies actually with date.
Thanks, Kim. Appreciate it.
I really was going to say. Holy cow!
Appreciate the cleavage shot, Kim. Thank you.
Jess,
clip that. We're at 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 2 seconds in the KMA. Please clip that.
Let me find my 3D
I was trying to find a pen to write to my child. I was trying to write a note to my kid. I forgot.
Anyone that needs a replay, 1 hour 47, 1 hour 47 minutes and 2 seconds in.
What are tariffs?
Anyway,
what was I talking? What was I saying?
Yeah,
no, I was saying.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying like the morning after the circuit court threw out the tariffs, there was one company. It was actually 3 companies that sent out emails to their customers saying, due to the tariffs, we're increasing prices, which I thought was kind of interesting the way those were worded. I'm like, look, I understand companies, they have to plan their business and all, but honestly, if you're going to send out a form email right after the tariffs were thrown out that, that you're increasing the price of the tariffs, that's not really good customer service in my mind.
I could do a whole show on things that are being done right and wrong, but let me just
that's a definite. Yeah.
Let me finish explaining how this is going to affect the consumer, how it should affect.
Right.
So the good thing about not in court, while it makes it a nightmare for us, Alex, you're right. The good thing about the way they're doing it, because in Eric's defense, like, oh, okay, let's wait 90 days, but these people are incurring a cost immediately. They started paying tariffs, right? So now, granted, it might not be on the product they're sending me now. It's on the product they're importing now. So, who knows where that line exists, because a lot of them have a lot of inventory in this country already that they're not gonna have to pay tariffs on. I don't think they're tariffing the inventory that's already in this country. So interesting is my hopes, and this is of course just my personal opinion, hopes is that line iteming it is their ability to take it off easy should it go away. Should the tariffs, for whatever reason, should they negotiate and tariffs disappear, it's very easy for all these manufacturers just to remove that light item surcharge instead of incorporating into the price.
Sure.
Right.
I'm hoping.
But not everyone's done the line item thing either. Some have actually increased it.
Some increased it already a month ago, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So here's the question. The question is, how did they increase it, right? Because it's not an easy to increase. Now I have a line item, right, for just a single charge. So let's say my line item is $1,000 tariff charge. Let's just say, right? Let's say I ordered 100 cigars from this company. Now, you would think what I can do is, okay, I ordered 100 cigars, divided by 1,000.
But you can't, because it's different price cigars.
No. I know, and that's the problem. Now, so there is a way to do it, and I think Danny could do it if you want to do it correctly. What I need to do is I need to take the total sum of the cigars, right? This is what I need to do this. I just thought this out. I need to take the total sum of the cigars. Say we bought $10,000 worth of cigars, right? Now I need to see how many Where was I? All right, we bought.
How many
100
came at
cigars.
this amount? How many came at
How
this
many
amount?
and what percentage is that of the total amount? And then I can apply, because I can't just say, okay, 1,000 cigars, it's about $1.50 cigar. Well, it's not the same when a Robusto is a Toro because the price is different. So now if that 1,000, if Robustos, I got to give Robustos 20%, but it becomes nightmarish because then I order more or less. It's that's a nightmare.
Our plan is we already have data plots, right, of or invoices that have come in, and probably in the next week or two, we're going to look and break down the data to find the average per stick, based on a tiered system,
right,
on the price that came in. And then at our registers and maybe on our, if it lasts a long time, it may end up, even if you order online, there'll be a line item tariff charge, import fee, whether it's 2% or 3% the final outcome when it comes out. When you go to the register, or even if you check out online, which makes it also easy for us, should it disappear, just easy for us to remove that line item. That's how I thought about it.
Rather than incorporating it into the,
Than incorporating
it. It is.
So if you go to your local brick and mortar, or you're shopping and you see somebody line iteming a tariff charge, be appreciative, because they're doing it right, because it's really something they can remove. And if they incorporate it into the cost now, it'll never, ever go away.
It ain't never coming back down.
If they incorporate it in the cost,
it's
never going away.
If they incorporate it in the cost,
it's never going away. I really think, because they didn't do it with S-chip, they didn't do it with any of these things before. I really think the manufacturers made it, a lot of them made it a line item thing this time, so that it could be removed very easily, because they understand that this shit could all be gone in 90 days. So,
because let me tell you, if they incorporate it into the cost and tariffs go away, you're not going to get 100 press releases saying everybody's lowering prices again.
No, they're not gonna. They're not going to.
You're still paying regulation fees from the FDA.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, it was incorporated into cost, so every stick you buy includes a line item charge. Now, whether some manufacturers did the right thing and didn't take a price increase when they shouldn't have, because they've already budgeted the user fees in that they don't have to pay now, who the fuck knows? Most likely not. But that's the nut and bolts of the situation.
Yep. I don't know if some companies have already had to incur the tariff charge. They might have. There may be some. If there were some imports in the last few weeks, I imagine they did.
I think they already did, because it was effective.
Yeah.
It was effective a month or two ago. So they definitely.
Exactly. Yeah.
But once again, they're most likely still shipping us out of the inventory that was already bought in before the tariffs. Most of these companies, So, I'm telling you, anybody who sent out a press release, I don't care who it is, I don't care if we buy from them, they get pissed. But anybody who sent out a press release like a month ago talking about tariffs and the prices going up, wrong. Shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I actually decided. I don't know. I don't know if it makes for very interesting reading. Maybe I put a compile list at some point, but I don't know if like every time I'm going to get something. And they don't, like I said, most of the time it goes to the retailers, but I have, of course, I have my connections where I get all this stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, is it, I don't know how big a story it is saying I'm increasing adding a 5% surcharge or something like that. I don't know how interesting that is. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I like to have accurate pricing information when I review, so I know what the price is. That's the part that frustrates me with the companies. They'll send you the pricing information when they announce it, but they don't send you up-to-date pricing information. I constantly have to ask for that.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
It's that time. Let's squeeze in our last two segments. We got 5 minutes. We're going to take it really quick to season 11. This is pick number 3, right?
Yep.
Top 3?
Yes.
We're breaking the top 3. Season 11, Tail of Tape, Top TV Dads.
Yeah, as soon as I find it, because of the stupid layout.
Should have told me. I would have.
I can't. Which one is it? Where is it?
Oh,
there's that.
I got it.
There's that.
The bottom
Thank
half
you.
of that final frame just looks just so much more balanced with the three of us there. Just saying.
So does the show, but
Yeah. Now, granted, it's not as good as her Kim Cameron move, but
No.
Just more balanced.
1 hour, 47 minutes, and 2 second in.
Alex wrote on his hand. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, listen, I'll kick it off. We're going to get through this. Counting down, number 3, top TV dads. I've been counting down the best of the worst TV dads. Coming at number 3 for me is Marty Byrde from Ozark. Cartel fighting, drug dealing, but main concern is always his family's safety, although he brings most of the danger on them himself. Always concerned with his family's safety and the well-being of his children. So not bad for a drug dealer dad. Marty Byrde, number 3.
You know, it's funny. He didn't make my radar, but
that was a good one.
My list
solid dad for a drug dealer. Solid dad.
My list is comprised of characters I enjoyed to watch. I really didn't care whether they were technically a good father or a bad father.
Right.
If I got really entertained watching you play a father, you made my list, and he was off my radar, but he probably would have made it. I'm going to come in at number 3, and I believe one of you guys mentioned this already. Red Foreman, that 70s show.
Oh, yeah.
Kurtwood Smith. I mean, this is my style parenting, parenting by abuse. I'm going to abuse you into manhood and maturity. I mean,
absolutely.
It's how I was raised. It's where I come from. I relate to him. I relate to his sentiment, and I enjoyed watching it. One of my favorite TV dads.
Yeah, he was on my list. Technically not a bad guy, but might as well have been.
Yeah, I mean, literally. I mean, yeah.
He could be a villain easily. Yeah. Cooper.
All right, this one Abe had last week. I have it at number 3 this week. Tony Soprano. Hey, he did the college visit for Meadow. He taught AJ about Columbus Day. He's a great father. I put him at number 3.
Absolutely.
Is he I think we'll look at the leaderboard, but I think he's the first guy that made all three of our lists.
Not yet.
I'm going to tell you
that was.
Huh?
You don't have the leaderboard?
I do, but he's not on my list.
Well, oh God, I just assumed he would be because of things.
Well, maybe he will be. We got 2 left, Dave.
Yeah, I'm assuming he made your list. Right.
What do you got, Kim? Give us somebody.
Yeah, who's one of your favorite TV dads of all time?
Tony Soprano was my pick for this week.
All right.
Because I'm like the very protective. I will hunt you down. I got 3 girls. Okay. Abe understands.
I feel your pain, Kim. I feel your pain.
I love it, but yeah, don't come near us. We're very protective over here.
Then we got a leaderboard. Look at that.
If I don't win this week, I don't know. Marty's a good pick, actually. Marty Bird's a good pick.
Yeah, Tony's always Tony.
Yeah.
How do you go against Tony Soprano?
We got 2 for
There's
Tony.
Our leaderboard. We got some Red Formans. We got 2 for Tony.
I'll reach out to him next week.
He doesn't put us who's is who's.
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't know your pick, yeah.
We at least got a leaderboard.
Left, at least you got a leaderboard. Left is like he used to.
Mine's left. Mine's left.
No, Cooper's right. Cooper's left. I'm in the middle. Abe's far right.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, and you
all right.
I don't know how much torture it is getting this banner right.
Traditional fashion. It's time to close KMA Talk Radio the way we always do with the fine folks over at Drew Estate and our dear friend Pedro. And we're going to find out right now. Would you rather?
One? I think I might have clicked it. I might. This layout is terrible. I hate it. I hate it.
It's all right. I'm like,
they're A/B testing something on StreamYard, folks, and Abe's layout is completely different than mine.
Yeah, I look at the old layout because we have it organized in a row.
Yeah,
his screen
right, and mine's is totally
different.
Yeah, I can't find anything. I do have this one though. I found the Pedro, buddy. I'm ready. Let's see what Pedro's got for us this week.
Would you rather have a beer while you are doing your cookout or a bourbon?
What's a cookout?
A cookout.
A cookout.
Cookout.
Like a barbecue.
I'm having neither.
I wasn't even trying to be fucking funny. I'm sorry, Pedro. I swear to God. All right, what was the question? You got a beer?
A beer or a bourbon? One bourbon, one shot, one beer.
When I'm eating, I'd rather have a beer.
Makes sense.
If I'm standing outside in the heat, I'm gonna have a beer. But if I'm in the AC, I'll take a bourbon.
I
That's the
don't
difference.
like hard liquor with my meals. Even if I go to a nice restaurant, I'll have a martini at the bar. You know, I'll have a martini at the bar, one or two. But when I sit down for my meal, I don't drink hard liquor. Now, I could drink wine, but I don't like hard liquor with food. Hard liquor to me brings nothing to the flavor of food, while I think wine can. And, but hard liquor, I don't mix with food. Sure.
I don't really drink. I don't drink when I eat at all.
You never have a glass of wine with a meal?
Nope. If I'm eating, I'm usually just having a glass of water. I don't really like to drink anything when I eat.
You're not a big drinker, Cooper, but you have a cookout with a beer kind of guy.
Kim's answer is exactly what I was going to say. If I'm outdoors, there's nothing like a cold beer. So I would have the cold beer. The bourbon is not something I want to have in the heat. So
I'm with you.
And Alex, well, you're out.
Yeah. Anyway, my Pellegrino.
Kim, thank you so much for being our special guest host this week.
Thank you. Yeah.
We love having you on. You're always amazing. You're great. Really appreciate it. And great show. We hope we entertained everybody out there. You all had a little fun with us this Saturday morning. We will be back next week for more KMA Talk Radio. Until then, everybody, keep it lit.
1 hour, 47 minutes, 2 seconds.